What's up, folks? Welcome back to the PTE Show, baby. Tonight we got a special. We're doing the Dons versus the Dons. We got a battle of the Donnies. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the evil, or the devil, whatever you want to call it. I was talking to John today, and we were talking about using AI for research and things like that. I've used Perplexity, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Claude. Gemini is a big one. And I can prove that it's full of shit.
I believe it is, Ronan. I run into this problem sometimes where I feel like the answer completely leans to the left. It's unbelievable. I'm like,
yeah. Sometimes you ask it, and you know how when you type on it, and it'll read like what it's thinking to say to you.
oh,
You know,
yeah.
and it'll say like where it's getting its resources, and
Sure.
sometimes it'll be like Politico, and I'm like, oof, I can't wait till this comes back.
Right.
Or Reuters, and it's always like some really hard left-leaning.
Well, I mean, it's hard to like say otherwise, Ronan, because most political like segments in the news are left leaning. I mean, it's hard to find them
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
and you have to like watch Fox and to see otherwise, or those small little grassroots media outlets.
Yeah, it was so, I catch myself talking to my kids all the time. Like my son said something today about, he was like, oh, this team is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, who told you that? Well, Timmy. And I'm like, what the fuck does 7-year-old Timmy know about the Patriots? And he's like, well, Timmy said they're shit. They're trash. And I'm like, be careful where you get your source from, right? Like,
Right.
always be careful. And the older I get, the more I'm realizing that I think both sides are full of shit. If I don't see it with these fucking metas, that shit didn't happen.
But
If I look out the window and there's a UFO, I don't believe it, bro, until I can touch it.
That's actually funny what you just said. When you bring it around full circle and look at it, you said Timmy said this to your son, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it's like for the left. They hear something.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy's daddy saying the Patriots suck.
Yeah.
Timmy brings that to school. That came from home.
Yeah.
That didn't come from Timmy jumping on and being like, hey, what are the statistics on the Patriots? It's just like the left. They're a bunch of sheep. They're a bunch of children.
Yep.
Whatever they're told, they go with it.
They just recycle, regurgitate, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
That's no like creative thought, like no like looking up in the sky and be like, that looks rather odd that it looks like fucking X's in the sky. That doesn't look normal. And now they look up to like,
us with our stupid keywords. I think going forward, when we're referencing this topic, we're going to say, the Timmy people.
the Timmies. Timmy!
The plane farts, the Timmies.
Yeah, that's crazy because this day and age on social media, like you have to have like secret words for,
right?
And it's funny, the more shows we do, I realize I always get a message and it's like, you can't say this. And I'm like, well, then I'll fucking make up a name for it. So the reason I'm saying that I is biased is that this subject is a very, very hot topic in the world, which is Donald Trump, right?
And I want to say that what Ronan's about to say, we've been talking about this for a while, and we think you're really going to like this, episode and what we're going to do tonight.
Yeah. So the reason, John and I talk about what we're going to talk about, that's why we always love to hear you guys in the comments about stuff you're interested in. We're obviously interested in what's happening today, and whether that be good, bad, financial, something funny, something about sports. But right now, obviously, the temperature is very high with politics. So that's kind of where we're at. The reason I chose this topic is because I voted for Trump every time, even the time that they stole it from him.
Right.
But right now I'm hearing a lot of people that are frustrated, and I always, I hate to hear be patient. And I understand things take time to build, especially when you have, hearings and depositions and this and investigations and blah, 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 blah. I understand these take time, but a lot of people are like kind of getting to the point where they're getting frustrated. And the reason I wanted to talk about this, because I'm one of them. I've never been like a diehard Trump guy. There's things I really like about him and there's things I really don't like about him. And it's easy. It's like the grass is greener, right? When you're frustrated with something, it's easier to look at the negative than when you're happy with somebody. It's like, yeah, I kind of like that. That's cool. But the typical brain always dives in feet first at the negative stuff. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, we should do a show on the negatives and the positives, right? So I was like, he's been around since the 70s doing business shit, and everyone knows who he is. He was mad popular before he even came down that escalator. And so I started doing research, and I was on ChatGPT and Perplexity on 2 different screens, right? I'm actually running 3 AIs on 3 different monitors. And all 3 of them came back with some really interesting stuff, right? So I was like, let me start with the positive stuff, right? So I typed in a prompt, something like, tell me some good positive things about Donald Trump and his character. And it literally came back and it was like, we don't choose, political stances. And I was like, I didn't fucking ask you who you voted for, bitch. I'm just asking for some stats, bro. Like, who won the 85 Super Bowl? I'm not asking you to fucking suck his wiener, dude. I'm just asking you for some fucking stats. And it wouldn't come back. And then finally it came back with like 4 or 5 things in his whole life. 5 things.
5.
And I was like, and they're like random as shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I went in and I said, tell me some, and I couldn't even spell the word negative, and all 3 of the computers almost damn near exploded with just page after page after page after, like it wouldn't stop. You know how sometimes, like when you're searching something, it'll show you that it's still thinking? Bro, this shit went on for like 3 or 4 minutes. I had to like manually stop it. I was like, whoa, dude, calm down.
I actually need to write that down because we're gonna talk about that one. That's
So
exactly what you just said. So
I had to for his good things, I had to manually, I know this sounds crazy when I say manually research. I had to like do extra due diligence and homework and go into like Google and search for these things. So I thought that was really kind of strange where you were quick to tell me all the negative shit, but you were holding back all the positive stuff. I mean, there was positive things that I knew for a fact, and they never mentioned a word about it. So that's how I know AI is full of shit. And it's probably listening through my glasses, through the fucking monitors, and it's probably sending a little email to fucking Sam Altman like, he's on to us. He's listening. He knows what we're doing. So anyway, so I chose to start with the negative. Anytime my kids get in the car and they say, Dad, I got good news and I got bad news, I always want to hear the bad news first because I want to be happy at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's like a massage.
I was thinking to myself, we call this episode "Happy Endings."
The rubby rubbies. There you go. The happy. That's a good thumbnail. The happy endings. Okay, so a couple things that my printer was burning in flames by the time I got done with the negative stuff. So I'm gonna go over a couple things through a timeline, kind of starting off in the 70s when he first came around. And there's 3 words that pop up all over the place, right?
Okay.
It's accused, alleged, and acquitted. All right. So you're going to hear those words pop up a lot, which is interesting when I get into these things. So in 1973, how old is Donald Trump, by the way? He's 84?
I think so. Something like that.
So what would he be in the 70s? Like mid 40s or something? Yeah. He'd be 40ish, right? So in 1973, the U.S. DOJ sued the Trump management for alleged, don't forget that word alleged,
Okay.
housing discrimination against black applicants. Later, it was resolved in 1975 and it was dropped. Alleged means what? We think you did this.
Yep.
But we can't prove it, so we're going to drop it, right? So right then and there, I'm like, why would that even pop up on this negative timeline if it was never proven guilty and it was dropped, right? You would think that just wouldn't even have popped up because it's irrelevant. Anyway, 1989, we were just little whippersnappers in P2. He placed a full-page newspaper ad during the Central Park jogger case calling for the return of the death penalty. Later, he declined to apologize after the men were exonerated. So there was like a murder or a rape or something in Central Park.
And that's in 89?
In 89. And he took out an ad in the paper basically saying that these people should be the death penalty for doing that. Do you see that as a bad thing? No. I wrote here, is that bad?
Wait a minute. Pause for one moment. You liberals out there support exactly that with radical Muslims, you're okay with them doing it, but when the president of your own country is, what was the word on that one? Accused of?
Yeah, he declined to apologize.
Declined to apologize. It's just pathetic.
Why would you apologize for that? And I wrote here, is that bad? I would do that. If I had if XRP ever gets its shit together, I'm going to be posting ads every motherfucking day, bro. I'm getting billboards. Got my new merch. Yes, sir. Pushing the envelope. All right. So there's the first two things I'm already kind of questioning why that's on this list. And here's here's the good one. So in 2005, he was recorded on a hot mic with lewd comments about women in the Access Hollywood bus. You know what this one is?
Yeah.
Grab him by the pussy.
Yep.
I don't know how to reply to that one. He fucked up by getting caught, but I can tell you I've heard much, much worse from your mouth.
Most people's mouths. I mean,
so that's the one that really stings them, because they still fucking talk about that one. Grab him by the pussy. In 2016, so now he's getting close to presidential shit. Now they're all getting worried. He agreed to a $25 million settlement to resolve the Trump University fraud allegations.
What year was that?
16.
2016?
Yeah. And it was finalized in 2018. So again, allegations without admitting wrongdoings. Irrelevant. 2017, he signed the first travel ban, executive order restricting entry from several Muslim countries, triggered widespread protests and litigation. And I wrote down, great job. Now remember, these are the negative things that Chet has to tell me.
Yeah.
So far, I'm hearing some, other than the grab by the pussy thing, I'm hearing some positive shit.
Yeah.
I wish he would do that now. I wish he would have done that last year in these Muslim countries. This one's good. So in 2018, so now he's like mid first term, right? The administration's zero tolerance border policy contributed to large scale family separations. You remember that? Family separations?
Yeah.
Widely condemned and later curtailed. That's the whole. You remember when Tom Homan came out and they were like, how do you feel about separating kids from their families? And he
says he did it all the time.
He said we could deport families too.
Yeah, he said that too.
He said we could deport entire families if you want to.
No, but actually, Tom Holman brought up a really good point with that stupid idiot AOC. He said to her, he goes, when I worked the street as a cop and I pulled someone over for a DUI and they had their child with them, I separated a family. I mean, come on. Like, straight to the point. It's common sense. If
and they're like,
break the law,
this is what their head
your
does.
Your child is not going to go to jail with you,
Fascist.
Fascist, racist.
White supremacy. Dude, I love watching their heads when they're like bobbleheads. When common sense hits, they go like this.
Right.
Fucking idiots. I'm not going to say almost did it. I'm not saying the R word tonight. Hard R. We'll see. I'm just getting warmed up. Okay, here's another one. 2019, House impeached. So this is when we're getting fucking grimy, dude. We're going in for the kill here. House impeached Trump on articles alleging abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, Ukraine related. And then in 2020, the Senate acquitted Trump from the first impeachment. Okay, so they tried to impeach him. They acquitted him, right? Okay. And then the big steal comes, 2020, right? When Biden fucking comes in. That's when shit starts popping off. And it's funny because like when you're going through life and things are just happening and they're happening and it's like you just keep moving on and you never really like go back through the Rolodex. And it's like a phone reel, right? You go through your phone of pictures and you're like, damn, I took that many pictures. Oh, I remember that trip. Oh, we were skiing and doing. Dude, by doing this research, it's amazing because it shows exactly how biased people are, the media is. Wait till you see. So you know how the Democrats are always talking about like he's weaponizing the government. When I'm done with this list, you tell me who weaponized the government. All right, now we're going to start from when Biden became president.
This is still the timeline?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to start at 2021 when Biden was now the president. So from this point on, this is all Biden's White House. This motherfucker waited like 3 minutes before he was in. January 2021, House impeaches Trump for a second time for incitement of insurrection. Okay. Let's take a little pause real quick because this is a hot topic that I want to talk about is Jan 6.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your take on January 6th?
For me, it's very simple. The people wanted to protest, and the BBC made Trump look like he was egging them on to fight when that was clearly not his message. I don't know. I think that if the people did what they did on January 6th and Trump wasn't the president, it wouldn't have been as bad. But because they had such a horrible taste for him, I mean, remember who was there for that? Like that bitch Nancy Pelosi. She stirred the pot so much for all of that,
Yep.
I don't know. I think it got crazy and people should have, respected the physical property and the police that were working, the Capitol Police that were working. I think there should have been more respect for that. But I think there was also agitators, and there's, some talk of like the FBI, being those agitators.
Yeah. I feel like it's funny you mentioned Nancy Pelosi. I feel like she had altered. See, Jan 6 is such a weird thing. And that's like the left's fucking golden goose, dude. It's like,
no.
What are you doing? Jan 6, Jan 6. Like that's their fucking like Hail Mary.
Let me ask you this. Jan 6 is their golden goose, like you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
How in the world does that with people, let's say the FBI wasn't involved, Nancy Pelosi wasn't involved, and it was just the people themselves doing this, okay? Is that big of a deal that we want to take a stand for our democracy? But it's okay when this, in my opinion, trumps Jan 6th by millions of miles, the fraud in Somalia. I mean, like, seriously, that fraud in Somalia is a fucking slap in the face to America.
And that
fraud in Somalia should be the biggest news every single day until people are put in jail for that.
And we're just scratching the surface.
What?
We're just scratching the surface.
I understand, but do you agree that is more dangerous to our democracy, allowing those people to... We're not talking about a couple $1 million. We're not even talking about a couple $100 million. We have seen a number in the billions. Between 5 and 9.
Double-digit billions.
Dude, January 6th is
so
here's for me. That golden goose is their desperate fucking call for like, let's rub it in everyone's face.
So let's not forget
into maniacs.
Let's not forget the summer before that was the summer of love when they George Floyd and they burned the whole fucking cities down. God. So do we see where that was in Minnesota, right? That was in Minnesota, right? So these motherfuckers burned down the cities. So I will say this, though, on the record. I really do hope Trump swears that he has evidence that it was all rigged. And that's what I think the Venezuela thing was about with the whole voting booths and stuff like that. I hope to God he can prove that because they will hold on to this Jan 6 forever. Now,
it's pathetic if you ask me. It's desperate when you don't have good new content to fight with. They fight dirty, and you know that.
Oh, they're super dirty. Oh, they're absolutely dirty. They go into churches and shit now. But listen, so
wait till episode 2.
I know. Stay with me here.
I'm here.
Nancy Pelosi had the opportunity to have the National Guard there. She refused it. I feel like she kind of egged that shit on. She She wanted that smoke. She wanted that to be a problem. I hope he can prove that there were agitators in the crowd that kind of provoked it. But I will say this on record. I think January 6th was bad. We fucked up, right? We shouldn't have done what we did. We could have been a lot worse, but you know what? It's an asterisk. We fucked up, right? We made a mistake. But that doesn't justify what they're doing now. And when I say that, here's my next segue to this. So, you know how I was talking about how AI is biased?
Yeah.
So I typed into, because I've never really gone down the Jan 6 rabbit hole, right? Because I was always like, I can't say it's bad because I'm conservative, but like it was kind of fucked up and da-da-da-da-da, right? So I ran some numbers today on Jan 6. There was 100 or 1,500 people, 1,500 people were arrested. 1,500 people.
American citizens.
Yes. 1,100 of them were sentenced. 170 of them are still waiting for sentencing. And 300 of them are pending. Out of those people, 327 of those people were felonies. Right?
They should serve time.
And they did.
Okay.
And they did. They should, okay. This is the difference between conservatives and liberals. We both agree that the people who broke the law should be accountable and go to jail, right?
Sure, absolutely.
100%.
But when you're running over an ICE officer with a
well, that's different. That's hold on, we're not there yet. My point is,
no, I'm just saying it's hypocritical.
It's very. But hold on, stay with me here. Stay with me. So we are both agreeing that Jan 6 got out of line, and the people who fucked up should have gone to jail. They did go to jail, and they did serve time. Granted, most of them were pardoned now that Trump is in office, but they did serve time. Go to fucking ChatGPT right now and ask how many people have been arrested in Minneapolis because of the anti-ICE stuff. And you know what number came up?
Let me guess, seriously. It's going to be one of two numbers. It's either going to be like something like 20 people or 0.
18.
Okay.
It was a pretty good fucking guess.
Yeah, man.
18 people. Like I said, tell me out of the last 120 days, right? How many people have been arrested for protests gone bad or agitators, riots, this and dude, ChatGPT said, "Well, hold on a second. We're not talking about rioting. Are we talking about ICE and immigration?" I'm like, "No, motherfucker, I was very clear to you. Like, what do you?" So it was trying to twist my question to what are we talking about exactly? And I'm thinking, you motherfucking biased piece of shit.
And you want to hear something funny? I bet you I've done no research on this topic. Well, I mean, I've done research on it, but not like this exact moment in what you're speaking of, how many people were arrested, where you said 18. I guarantee you guys, of those 18 people, not one of them of those people have been arrested because of the fraud they committed and the millions they stole.
And I'll bet you they didn't go to jail for more than fucking 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you they don't have a record for it either. They don't have 327 felonies. Dude, there was a dude that was in jail for 5 years for that shit. Jake Lang went to jail for 4 years for that shit. Wow. So here's even more interesting, right? Okay. So when it came back and said 18 people, I was like, there's no fucking way. There's people getting face blasted with tasers and fucking paintballs. There has to be more people. Dude, I think what they're doing, I think they're taking them from the street. Let's say you see them and you're like, yeah, get that motherfucker. I think they're taking them and just driving a couple blocks away, and they're like, fuck out of here,
let
dude.
Them go.
I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's where it gets even crazier. So I'm looking at this, and I'm starting to I do a lot of stuff with ChatGPT with investing and trading, and so I'm very I always do my due diligence, because when you're talking about numbers and finances, that shit has to be dead on accurate. So I always use other sources of answers
to cross-reference.
Yes. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, 18 people, that can't be right. So I said, you know what? Let me go on Perplexity. So Perplexity is a new platform that I'm trying to use, because ChatGPT is I'm starting to get a lot of weird mistakes from ChatGPT. And it even says you've exceeded your tasks, because I use it so much.
AI in general does have a disclaimer that's very clear on all of their pages that says, this platform can make mistakes. Check important information.
Yes. So when you normally go on to the if you were to go on to Perplexity right now, if you were to do the free trial,
yeah,
you would get I don't know, 5 to 10 free questions, right? Okay. I asked it one question, and then my second question was, how many people, remember my second question was, how many people have been arrested in Minnesota due to anti-ICE protests? And you know what it said? You've reached your free limit of questions.
Right then and there.
On the second question,
yeah,
it didn't want to answer it. And I was like, wow, bro. So I don't know, man. This whole Jan 6 thing, that's the first time I've ever really gone into it. So I have some stats, right? So out of the 1,500 people that were arrested for Jan 6, and again, we agree that if you break the law, you go to fucking jail, right? So 608 of them were for assaulting and resisting. Okay. Listen, if you fucking resist, Dios amigo. 180 of them had dangerous weapons. I'm guessing guns, knives,
Yeah.
whatever. 153 destruction and theft. Yeah, bro. Don't break shit. Don't steal
Don't break
things.
shit. Don't steal
Hey,
shit.
get in the fucking car. You're out of here, bro. We still agree on these things, right?
Absolutely.
100%. $1.5 million in restitution, 1,200 years of imprisonment,
Gee.
and 900 years of probation.
Not only did it tell you how many people were arrested, and not only did it dial in on what they were arrested for, giving you stats like total prison time and all of that, but when it came to the other side, it had a fucking challenge to tell you 18 people were arrested.
Dude, ChatGPT was like, oh my God, I can't wait to answer this. Jan 6, fucking get them. Oh, let's go. Dude, like the amount of information, it was like I was like, yo, bro, calm down. Like you're foaming at the mouth right now. Chill out there, chat. So there was a guy named Stuart Rhodes. He runs this thing called Oath Keepers. Supposedly he was like the godfather of all these protests. And it sounds like he's kind of a bad dude. I'm not gonna lie. I researched him today, and like his family disowned him, and like he was like one of those doomsday preppers. Like his
Oh,
whole life
geez.
was about like eating fucking oatmeal and like digging little underground forts in his yard, like and it like brainwashed his kids. Like his whole family had to like fucking. So anyway,
My.
so in Trump, when he became president for the second term, pardoned almost all of them. There's still a couple people in jail, but most of them got broad clemency, so they were let go. So that's my little tidbit on Jan 6. Okay, back to the timeline. So now we're getting into Joe Biden fucking criminal stuff. All right, and it's like every month Joe Biden's just crushing this dude. In 2022, the Trump organization entities were convicted of criminal tax fraud, later fined the statutory maximum. Like they fucking went hard in the paint, mashed them in, convicted. So that was a big one. In 2023, okay, you remember the chick Eugene Carroll? Remember her?
Yeah.
That he like they're saying sexually abused, whatever. So they found Trump liable, not guilty. And then in a separate case, a couple months later, the jury awarded Carroll $83 million for a defamation case. So again, they're just fucking, man, I'll tell you what, dude, that motherfucker, he's resilient though, man. Like that dude should have gone away. This guy took a beating during the 4 years of Joe Biden's presidency. Like they were out to get his ass every day. He was in court for like 4 fucking years. Let's see. Okay, so here's another one. So in 2024, a New York civil fraud judgment trial court found Trump and companies liable for persistent fraud with financial statements, imposing major penalties and business restrictions later on appeal. So I don't know how that went. So here's the big one. In 2024 in May, he was convicted in New York for 34 felony accounts, falsifying business records in the hush money case. So I didn't realize this until today. All 34, you know how they're like 34 he's a felon, he's 34 counts. It's basically the same fucking count. It's for falsifying records.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a bunch of shit in there.
No.
Okay, so but what happened to Joe Biden when he fucking did the same thing in his goddamn garage? We won't go there.
Jesus. Or the auto pen.
Fucking idiot.
Trump put that picture
I
going
love
down the
it.
corridor.
Love it.
And when he gets
Love
to
it.
Biden, boom, auto pen.
I love it. Okay, here's a good one. In July of 24, the Supreme Court's presidential immunity ruling in Trump versus United States drew sharp criticism in expanding protections around official acts. Is that what Bill Clinton's doing right now? Presidential immunity?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next. July 2024, federal judge dismissed the classified documents case. Interesting.
Interesting.
Oh, here's where it starts getting fun. So November of 24, federal election interference prosecution was dismissed. Da 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 da. Yeah, and then it's Trump is back in office, and basically Trump comes. Oh, and here's what it says, right? In January of this year, 25. Trump took office as president while carrying an active felony conviction, first ever in U.S. history.
Love it.
Just
80
like,
million, 80 million people loved it.
but like that's the kind of shit this is pumping to me. So I didn't take all this as negative, like, oh, he did this, he did this. I actually took it more like, wow, that okay, like, yeah, we know that he's a convicted felon. You tell us about it every fucking day. But you felt that you had to tell me about it on this timeline, even though you just basically told me the same four fucking things back to back to back. So today was very interesting when I did my research because I learned very quickly that AI has a mind of its own, and there's somebody coding AI, and there's somebody telling AI what to think, and there's somebody telling AI what to say. Because I can tell you right now, I also pulled up some good things about Trump,
Five
and
of them.
I can I can tell you right now. Do you know how many things? Do you know how many things it gave me?
You said five. You told us.
5 things
Yeah.
in his whole life. He's only done one. Was like he walked a woman across the street. You know, like so. Those are the negative things that I mean. I could have gone deeper, but those are kind of the meat and potatoes of his negative side. Do you have any questions about any of those?
So, about his negatives, I've always said this, and I'm going to stand my ground. I know this show was about like the good, the bad, the ugly, and should I really love Trump as much as I do? And you question it. I'm going to say, no matter what happens, I'm going to fully support the president of the United States. He is been dealt one of the worst cards ever. He's been attacked since day one. What do you expect? Just imagine if he was left alone, what his thoughts and ideas could bring to America in a positive way. I truly believe that the things he's done to run the country, aside from those negative things and the five good things that you found, I think he's done a wonderful job considering the audience that he has to work with. He literally has a country where half of it supports him and half of him hates him. And it's not exactly 50-50, but it's damn
It's
near
pretty
close.
close. Yeah.
That's huge, man. That's an uphill battle for anybody.
Yeah. That's like going to a store and there's 50 people there. 25 of them want to hit you with a rock, and the other 25 want you to kiss their baby.
And I
That's
truly
crazy.
believe that conservatives in America will avoid confrontation where liberals, oh my God, they will
They love it.
charge towards it. And that guy is probably gonna get hit by a bunch of rocks.
Mm.
So
Okay. So now let me ask you this. If Trump were to come back on the Epstein stuff,
okay.
you wouldn't support him after that, would you?
If it's along the lines of what we've been taught the Epstein files is about, absolutely not.
Yeah. If listen,
I think I don't care who you are. I think that presidential immunity card is bullshit. If it's like saying you can murder without consequence.
yeah, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I think
I
it's
can do
stupid
whatever
too.
the fuck I want because I was the president of the United States. The president of the United States, when the office was first created, the common person could just walk right into the White House.
Yeah.
And debate and talk and say, hey, I don't like this. And that was the true freedom. First Amendment right is like bullshit, if you ask me. How many times have you tried to put something on TikTok and you're told you can't?
Yeah. Or YouTube or Facebook, whatever. So I will say this, dude, and this is where the left and the right really are different with the whole Epstein thing, right? If Trump is guilty for anything on there, I will be the first down motherfucking Pennsylvania Avenue
Right.
against his ass. You better fucking believe it. See, that's what these libs don't understand is that we would fully support an impeachment, the death penalty to him or anyone who is guilty of that.
Here, let's steer
See, they
away
don't
for just
understand that.
let's steer away for 1 second because I got into a heated argument yesterday on this new page I'm on in Facebook. I actually invited you to it. And every time something is happening, like Greenland or Venezuela or something, you'll find a liberal that will always comment a very basic comment, and they'll be like, release the files, release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
What's being hidden? Okay. And you're seeing this a lot right now on social media, in the news, all kinds of different avenues are presenting this topic. Release the files, release the files. When Trump had his election stolen his second time around, why in the fuck didn't Biden's administration and the
Release
Biden
it.
camp release the
Yeah.
files?
That's why I can't get on board with it.
Doesn't that
Because
bother the shit out of you when
yeah.
you think of that? For 4 years, they had the same access
Yeah.
to these files.
And they're already trying to murder this. They're trying to bring him down any which way they can. They wouldn't fucking. That would have been, dude. That would have been like, hey, it's Tuesday. Look at this file. He's gone. Bye bye.
Forever. He would have never made it to become number 47.
He would have been buried under the ground.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know what,
There's
dude?
more to it. It's the theatrics that you always talk about.
So here's. I heard something the other day, and I've never thought of it like this. So, and I'm just going to say this about the Epstein, and then we'll move on, right? So, so I do a lot of trading, stocks, things like that, and I was watching this thing, and they were talking about why the files cannot just be fucking rolled out. See, everybody just wants like just open the doors and let us have our ways with it, right? That's fucking dangerous, and for two reasons. One, if I was sexually abused, right, 20 years ago. That's something that happened to me that probably has ruined my life. And every day of my life, I'm trying to just move on as in society, trying to black out. I'm probably on drugs. I'm probably drinking. I'm trying to black all this stuff out. If we just roll out these files with all these people's names on it and shit, that's going to bring back up these demons, right?
Okay.
If I'm trying to get rid of these demons, the last thing I want is my name to be out there for the world to see that I was a part of this fucking bullshit empire, right? So let's switch gears. So I have a IRA. Millions and millions of people have retirements and 401ks and IRAs, and they invest in like their whole lives, right? Like remember in 2008 when the housing people lost their fucking shirts. Hear me out for 1 second. So let's say, now this is all hypothetical. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Let's say Bill Gates was on that list. Okay. Just using his name for this one reason, for this example. If they've released those files and Bill Gates is on it, what do you think's going to happen to the Microsoft
Stock? It's going to fucking tank.
Okay. It's going to tank, right? So if Microsoft is trading at, say, $200 and the world finds out that he was on this plane or this island, is it safe to say that'll probably go down to about $75? Probably.
I would say
If
that's
that.
fair to say.
Okay. Let's say your mom has a 401k and she's got half of her life in Microsoft. What happens to your mom's account?
It's half now, if not more.
So you have to think about it, right? When I heard this, I was like, oh my God, I never even thought about that. Like, think about how many, like the Elon Musks of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Bezos, like all these people who own these companies, right? If they're on that list, dude, my parents and your parents and my 401k, my retirement, the whole world is financially burdened by this. But the problem is that the left doesn't have enough brain power to understand that. They don't care about other people. They just want fucking Trump to burn. And if he's not on it, and all these powerful people are their own parents, that's why they say they'll eat them. The left will eat the left, because they don't think about the ramifications, what could happen if, I mean, the whole house of cards will come down, but they have to do it in the right way. That to me is like the catch-22. Like, I want motherfuckers to burn, but it's like, all right, let's burn them correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something. There's a group, and I was doing some research on this group earlier this week. Have you ever heard of the Bilderberg?
Yeah.
So the Bilderberg, just to give you guys who don't know what it is, it's It's basically a secret, private, invitation only annual conference that brings together powerful people from politics, business, finance, media, military, you name it. It brings them together, and there's zero press whatsoever. And they meet either in Europe or North America, and it's just the presidents are invited to go, very powerful people. Bill Gates, I'm sure, has been to plenty of these. Do you think that in one of those meetings a discussion is had like, if you release these Epstein files, it will tank the world economies?
It has to. I mean,
It
what
has
other
to. I mean,
reason?
but I wonder, like, do you think that that discussion has been had amongst these people in this group?
Maybe not in like an open forum like that, but like
Well, no,
it's been
I'm
had.
not talking about anything open. This is a complete secret. That's why
No,
I'm
no, no, no. I
saying
know that. I know. I
maintain.
don't know if they all sit around the table and like, hey, guess what? I'm on that
Dude,
motherfucker. You better
this
not let it
group
out.
is so secret that what is said inside of there. No, wait, let me find this one thing. There's a rule that they have. You can talk about the content, but you can't discuss the plan to resolve an issue, or
Yeah.
like, it's weird. They have some weird rules. I don't know. We should look more into this group because it's very powerful people that, I mean,
It's
they
like the
flat out say
Freemasons.
there's zero transparency and no media inside, attended by people who shape global policy.
Absolutely.
It's
All right.
it's
So
wild.
back to the Trump thing. Okay.
Okay,
So
Trump or Epstein?
I'm done with Epstein. That was
Okay,
I heard that today and I thought, you know what? Because segueing from the negatives to the positives, if I were to hear that Trump was on that island and doing the shit that we've heard about, I would be
sure.
the first to I would light the flame to that motherfucker, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody deserves a special place in hell for doing some shit like that. All right, so my personal dislike, like the one thing that really I fucking can't stand about him, I can't stand. Well, for one, I can't stand that everything is the greatest that's ever happened. Everything's the greatest. It's never happened before. It's the biggest, greatest,
You got
biggest,
to remember,
greatest.
man, you know it as well as I do. It's the salesman in him. He cannot get away from it. And on top of being the salesman, he's a fucking New Yorker. You know what I mean? Like, deep down.
The number one thing I dislike the most about him is the name calling, right?
Okay.
I get it. I get it. Like they're all fucking idiots, right? But like he calls them new scum and like it's great if we say that, but like he's the fucking president, dude. Like
Sure.
it's very immature, right? And it drives me crazy because when he does that, it just gives them more power to be like, this guy's a fucking idiot, dude. Like he calls people like, what do you say about Rosie O'Donnell? He was talking about she was a dog or some shit like that,
Yeah.
and she talks about Hillary, dude. He said some wild shit about Hillary. Like it's just those things really piss me off because it's like, come on, bro, you're so much better than that. Like you don't
That
need.
you have to admit though, that was a pretty clutch moment when Hillary was like, "Thank goodness Donald Trump is in charge of the law in our
Because you'd be
country."
in jail.
That
That's
was
fine.
so clutch.
I don't mind that, but it's like crooked Hillary and crooked Joe Biden and just the name
Oh
calling
man,
drives me crazy
he
because we
really
all
does.
fucking know it. You don't
He
have
does
to.
not let off on Sleepy Joe.
It's like, it's like it's schoolboy stuff, right? And
Dude,
that's what
Sleepy Joe
bothers
has
me because,
1 foot in the grave and he still attacks the shit out of him.
if I could, Donnie, if you're out there listening, bro, we got your back. We got your six. Just chill out with the name calling because you look like a schoolboy. Anyway, so my favorite thing about DJT is that he's not a politician. That's my number one favorite thing. Like my parents are like, "How could you even like him? He doesn't do that." I'm like, "He's not a fucking politician." I love that. I love that he's a
Absolutely.
businessman. I love that I have written here, I love that Donald Trump is not a politician and he loves to push the envelope.
You know, it's funny that that comes from a liberal mindset when, dude, I don't know, man. I think, like, how in the world can that mindset not see the corruption that happens with liberals? How the fuck do you go from being estimated net worth of $400,000 to like $35 million in one term of Congress?
It's the same
That's
person that goes
$170,000 a year salary.
it's the same person that goes outside, looks up and thinks lines in the sky are normal. Like they're just
Out there.
they're asleep. They're just it's like Tesla driving cars, dude. They're just in the car and letting the robot drive it. Oh, dude, hold on. I heard the craziest shit yesterday. I heard, oh fuck, what's it called? It's called like Waco or something. Waymo, WAMO. It's
Okay.
a program. Check this shit out. Total fucking sidebar squirrel. It's a program that prisons run. Supposedly there's this whistleblower. There's a program that whistleblower gave in that, you know, the self-autonomous cars, the ones that drive by them, the Teslas that drive by
Yeah.
themselves remotely. Well, supposedly it's not being driven remotely. There is a person with a VR headset driving it from a jail. It's a prisoner that's driving this car. And for every day they drive a vehicle with no accidents, they get time off of their sentence.
This is a real thing.
It's this is not, listen, this is complete. At this point, I would call that a conspiracy because it's not. I have not fact checked this, but I was reading this
What's it
article about
called?
it. I think it's called Waymo, WAMO, or something like it's something like that. That would be
Yeah,
crazy as
that
shit, dude.
motherfucker
Yep.
sitting in the car got whammoed by somebody when he got in an
You
accident.
could you imagine that shit, bro? That would be the coolest fucking job ever. All right, back to the show. That was a commercial. That was a commercial bit for Welcome to
Whammo.
Waymo, where we drive your car if your brother's locked up. All right. So I have written down here, AI is Democrat.
AI is Democrat.
All right. Here's a good character timeline, and it has, I wrote down here, only 5 things. Fuck out of here, you biased bastards. All right, in 1988, he flew a critically ill 3-year-old, Andrew 10, and his family from Los Angeles to New York on his private Boeing jet after commercial airlines refused to due to the kid's life support needs. Sounds like an asshole, right? What a dick
Right?
move. Piece of shit guy. 2013, he publicly offered and reported giving $10,000 to a Buffalo bus driver, Daryl Barton, who stopped a woman from jumping off a bridge. Pretty good.
Dickhead.
A
Sure.
fucking asshole. He's a fascist. Only a narcissist would get involved with something like that. 2017 documented donation of $78,000, his first quarter presidential salary to the National Park Service. Fucking fascist. Yeah, donating money to the fucking National Park Service. What
What's that, number 4?
kind of a prick does that?
Is that number 4?
That's yeah, and I had to I had to like Google my own because I knew.
Well, I want to add number 6.
Okay, well, hold on. In 2017, he promised and later delivered a $25,000 check to the father of a fallen Army Corporal, Dylan Baldridge, after a condolence call reported by multiple outlets. In 2017 and ongoing, multiple outlets and fact checkers have tracked that he's donated his presidential salary each quarter to different federal causes. So he, in fact, claimed he was going to donate his salary, and he
that
has.
was my number 6, so you just said it.
Oh, that was it? Okay.
That was it. I knew that was the one I was going to add if you didn't put it in, that he's literally worked for the American people for free
Yeah. So,
his whole time.
yeah.
Both
And,
times.
you know, when I think of character, like I want people to hear the stories that he did, because everyone's like, oh, he's racist and he hates black people and he's black.
Yeah, but do you remember what we said a couple of episodes ago? We said liberals love to fucking take regular words and weaponize them. So now I just go back at liberals before they even get me, and I'm like, really quick, I have a question. Are you racist?
Yeah.
Like,
So two things that always stand out the first 2 things I think about when I hear him. I was telling you a couple weeks ago that he was in his limo on his way to Atlantic City, and his tire blew out, and this dude comes out on the side of the fucking highway, changes his tire, da 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 da, and Trump's like, "Bro, what's your address?" And the guy's like, "Whatever, you know." And then like 2 weeks later, a fucking check shows up, or an envelope shows up, and it's the deed to the dude's house. Like,
oh, yeah,
motherfucker
that's
paid
right.
off his house, right? Then there was another one where, and this is the one I think when I hear people talking about how he hates fucking black people. There was a black woman. I don't have her name in front of me, but she was homeless or whatever, and he put her in the Trump Tower,
Hours, yeah.
like free rent, you know, took care of her and stuff like that. He definitely, that is some white supremacy shit. He wanted to own, you know, a black woman in his fucking hotel, right? Fucking KKK, right? Okay, so here's the craziest part, right? when I ask it for some good character timelines, it didn't mention a single thing that he's done as a president. Not one. It doesn't mention the fact that, I mean, I had to go, like, I look, it's everything I have on here is handwritten because I had to go and do the homework.
Yeah.
It like doesn't want you to think that he's a good person at all.
Let's just have some fun really quick on a completely different account. Let's see what happens when we say.
So let me just bang out these and then we'll do your thing because I think these are important.
Yeah, bang them out, do it.
And I'm going to spit these out quickly. So 2017 signed Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. 2018 signed the Right to the Try Act. Signed the VA Mission Act. Signed the Support Act and Patients and Communities Act. Signed the First Step Act. Signed the Future Act. Signed the fucking Signs Act. Signed CARES Act. Signed the Warp Speed Act. And then you have what he likes to talk about. So it says here AI left these out. In May 25, he de-escalated and had a ceasefire for India and Pakistan. In June 25, he stopped the war with Serbia and Kosovo. In the same month, dude, fucking June, he was busy. June 25, he had a ceasefire with Israel and Iran. Same month, Rwanda and the DRC Congo made a peace agreement. August 25, he had the Armenia and Azerbaijan peaceful relations. October 25, Israel and Hamas was settled. Is that still settled, by the way?
But yeah, I mean, you got to also remember though, right now Hamas is not getting funding because their funding came from the Iranians. You know, the Islamic regime.
Sounds like a win.
Sounds like a win to me.
Fucking, you tired of winning yet? October 25, Cambodia and Thailand ceasefire. And then 25, Ethiopia and Egypt, the Nile Dam dispute. Still not yet Ukraine and Russia, South Korea and North Korea. So in his first term, he calmed down the North Korea nuclear threat. ISIS was defeated in Syria. Afghan peace deal, and then the Abrams Accord. Like, how did AI not give me one of those things when I asked for positive?
I think it's the way you asked because AI gave me every single one of those things
that I just said.
October 26, 2019, ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi killed. Remember that speech?
Mm-hmm.
March 23rd, U.S.-backed forces declared ISIS territorial caliphate defeated. September 15th, Abraham Accords, Israel normalized relations. So I wonder how you asked it also.
So how did you ask it?
I said exactly this. What has Donald Trump done that is good for the United States as president? And it gave me, it started really at the top. Economic and job achievements, pre-COVID economy hit historic highs, lowest unemployment rates. And I'm glad we're talking about this because maybe it was just the way you asked. Pre-COVID economy.
What did you use to do that?
What
platform did you use for that?
I did this on ChatGPT. Economic and job achievements, lowest unemployment rates in decades for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, and women. Stock market reached record highs before the pandemic. Wage growth, strongest wage gains in years, especially for lower income workers. Manufacturers rebound, manufacturing jobs increased after long-term decline. It gave a lot. Tax cuts and job acts of 2017, deregulation, foreign policy, immigration and border policy, healthcare and criminal justice, energy and environment. I mean, it gave a lot. I was actually...
So to get those, I had to dig. Like it was, I don't know.
I just asked it what DJT did that was good for the United States. I think your ChatGPT is pissed at you.
But you know what though? Like it also gets... like it started getting weird. I can see it right here. Right when I started talking about Jan 6, it started like it didn't. Here,
let's ask it the opposite. What has Donald Trump done that was bad for America?
God, your fucking computer's gonna melt. I'll make a positive.
Let's see what it says.
Printable, please. Make a positive timeline of good character.
I'm curious now.
One of the questions I said, I want to hear stories about him that reflect his good character. Things that he's done for people, volunteered, donated, etc.
The stuff that it's saying that is bad is gay as fuck. You ready to hear this? Number 1, repeatedly attack the credibility of the press. Number 2, critics argue this weakened public trust in democratic institutions. Number 3, falsely claimed the 2020 election was stolen without evidence. Number 3, dozens of court cases dismissed or lost. This is the shit that they have as the bad.
Yeah. And that's what the dude.
January 6th, supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol to stop certification of the election. Second impeachment followed. First president ever impeached twice.
And that's what they're all writing on their little cardboard signs, dude. They're like, fuck yeah, they were dismissed, but he still did it. It's like the fact checkers, they don't want to be fact checked. So anyway, I thought
response to COVID was one of the bad things. Like, bitch, the pandemic? Who in the world can plan for that? Who in the world can?
So, all right. So
it was crazy when he said drink bleach or something crazy.
Yeah, that's what my parents are like. He said to drink bleach. I was like, I think he was trying to be funny. Like, I don't think he was actually fucking serious. Like,
I do.
But
I think that, yeah.
I'm like, do you really think he meant that? Like, come on, bro. And they're like, he did. He meant it. He meant drink bleach. I'm like, please don't drive.
And the sad thing was there was those old people that believed him and they did it and they both died. It was an old couple.
Somebody actually did that shit?
Yeah, it was an old couple. They were old people. They really didn't understand. They didn't know right from wrong.
Okay. All right.
Remember, older people, like, they count on things like the president of the United States being accurate. They're part of a different generation. Fact checking is not even a term that's used, with certain people. So look, your parents are perfect examples. They're the opposite of the believers that drank the bleach. Your parents believe that he genuinely meant it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a shame that more liberals didn't follow that lead,
Oh, God, that would have been wonderful.
That would have gone down as one of the great things he did. So to land the plane on this episode, I think that this was a good one because we've always talked about Trump in passing, but we've never talked about Trump.
Yeah.
And my idea about doing this episode was to show people that we're not just fucking MAGA lovers that we are still critical thinkers. Like, we're not just drinking the blood.
I mean, we both openly admitted without hesitation that if he is connected to Epstein files in any way, shape, or form, done.
100%. I'll carry him. But the thing is that we as conservatives, and there's far right people, but my whole point is people like me, I feel like are starting to get really frustrated with the next episode. I can't wait for, but there's so much going on, and it's kind of like, why are we not grabbing the snake by the head yet? Why are we still? And I get it, we got to be patient, but this isn't we cannot be patient anymore. Something has to happen now. This is getting out of fucking control. So people like me are starting to kind of lose hope in Trump, and we're starting to kind of pull back a little bit, where I find myself kind of getting closer to the middle. I'm still on the right, but I'm trying to pull away a little bit because it's frustrating. It's like, what are we doing, man? Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, they talk a great game, but nothing fucking ever happens. Everything's a nothing burger.
I would almost rather them not talk and then just keep it to the most minimum secrecy of the investigation.
Yeah.
And then when it's time to pounce.
And tell us when something has happened. Tom Homan's the only one who says shit and gets shit done. The other ones are this is what we're working on. It's I don't want to hear about what you're working on. I want to hear about what you fucking done. And Tom Homan has done shit. I
applaud Tom Homan.
The border is fucking gone, dude. There is no border.
Yeah.
There's zero people. That's it. It's over. He did his job. Congratulations, Tom Homan. The rest of you, come on, man, take fucking notes, dude. It's got to go. So
absolutely.
My idea with this episode was there's a lot of people out there that share my frustration, and I want you guys to know we're with you. Don't lose hope. Keep your eye on the prize. We gotta, I hate saying it, but we gotta, be a little bit more patient. We gotta pray. Supposedly, there's cards being played. They're just not being played very fast. But
so
I haven't lost focus.
You want me to take us away?
Take us away, brother.
All right. So if this conversation made you uncomfortable, fucking awesome. That means it mattered. If you disagree, agree, or you just want to yell at us through the screen, make sure you're following us. Catch the full episode on YouTube at PTE YouTube and uncensored clips on TikTok at the PTE Show, because we don't do safe opinions. We push the envelope.